Peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Yes, y'all. It's your boy Dom Plutonian back at it again with another video segment I like to call the Chapter 1 series. I am your host, Dom Plutonian. Now let's get into it. This video will be Chapter 1, Esoteric Currency. I repeat, Chapter 1, Esoteric Currency. How y'all September going? Man, it's been an interesting time, man. A lot of eclipses going on. You know, a lunar eclipse in Pisces, and we have a Virgo eclipse coming up on the 21st, I believe, of September. But nonetheless, this video is about esoteric currency. I'm sorry, y'all, my Gemini moon kicking in. But when it comes to esoteric currency, in order to have or to create esoteric currency, when we talk about the word esoteric, we're talking about things that are hidden from your two physical eyes. Only your third eye could see the esoteric plane, which is known as the spiritual plane. So esoteric is just anything hidden. It could be hidden knowledge, different spirits, realms of existence, realms of reality. And as long as you can open up your pineal gland, you'll be able to see the esoteric world, the real world. You feel me? Currency, we know what currency is. It's money, right? Currency is money. Current, flow. It should be a constant flow, a rotation of flow, a rotation of flow, a rotation of flow. Just like life, just like the universe. Water flows, right? Money should flow, right? So when you take esoteric in the word currency, that could be hidden knowledge, but it's currency within that knowledge. It's riches within that knowledge, or it's riches within that esoteric plane of consciousness that you're tapping into. You see what I'm saying? In order to build esoteric currency, you must first master a certain part of yourself for your third eye to even open, to see beyond the veil that your naked eye see. Once you can see beyond the veil, your third eye takes over. That's the only way you'll be able to see the esoteric realm. While you're in the esoteric realm, or while you're gathering information and knowledge and wisdom from the spiritual plane, the esoteric plane, or different spirits or deities, or even your ancestors from the spiritual plane, you create currency within those realms of existence. You create currency in those realms of existence. You create currency in those realms of existence. You see what I'm saying? It's like you're building on your astral body for the afterlife, for that currency. So you're already consciously aware of what that looks like for you, or what it could be for you, because that's the real world. This is the fake world. You feel me? So when you're building that currency, you're building that esoteric money to cash out. When you cash out, that's just another form of manifestation on the physical plane. Okay, I had this idea. This idea can generate me a lot of money, but I'm getting these ideas from a higher plane or a higher source of consciousness, or possibly even my ancestors, or possibly a deity that I'm working with or that I'm tapped into, right? And with getting that knowledge and understanding and that wisdom, you're able to receive because your third eye is open. You're open enough to receive that knowledge and wisdom, which can create currency. Okay, I have this idea to create toilet tissue paper. Just for an example, right? Toilet tissue paper. I've created that esoteric currency. I have it in my mind. Now I'm creating it physically, and I bring it down to the realm one, which is first, second, third dimensional plane, which is the 3D plane, which is where we live on, right? Excuse me, right? But yeah, once it's brought down, then you sell it, cash it out to the bank. Esoteric money is as important as physical currency. I repeat, esoteric currency is, if not more important than physical currency. They're both important equally, right? Because you have to have a spiritual backing if you really want things to work for your life physically, right? So you need both. You need both. Knowledge is power, right? You need both. We all used to hear that shit when we were younger. Knowledge is power. So never always be open to get more knowledge and wisdom, to receive more downloads, to create that esoteric currency. When you have a lot of great inventors, people that invented all these different structures of houses or apartment complexes or buildings and skyscrapers and the cars like the Tesla car or a plane or a jet or a ship, like they got those downloads from different realms of realities, different planes of existences. The same way a lot of I'm talking about real musicians like Michael Jackson, Prince, Lenny Kravitz, you know what I'm saying? James Brown, Sammy Davis, you know what I'm saying? They're getting their downloads, or they're getting most of their songs from a higher plane of consciousness, the esoteric realm. They're in tune with their spirit on a higher plane of consciousness. That's how they're getting those songs. And they're building that esoteric currency. And then they bring it down to the third dimensional plane. Now that song is created. Now that boat is created. Now that car is created. Now that jet is created. But you have to build your esoteric currency. A lot of times when people a lot of artists might say they get writer's block, or certain people might be like, man, I just can't think of something very elaborate right now. I can't get it. That's because they're too dense. And when they're too dense, that means you're too much on the earthly plane. And sometimes you have to be in that esoteric realm. Who's a good example? Good zodiac signs that are examples that are always constantly in the esoteric plane. Definitely Pisces. Easy. Pisces. I would say Pisces, Sagittarius. Pisces, Sagittarius, Virgos, and Geminis are some of the most, even Aquariuses. I'd even say honorable mention, Aquarius. Always in a different realm of existence. Thinking, creating new ideas. The thing about Pisces is that a lot of times Pisces will create that esoteric currency, but they'll never bring it down to realm one, first, second, third dimension. They'll never bring it down. They'll constantly dream about it. They'll constantly vision about it, imagine about it. I'm not turning this into a Pisces video. My bad, y'all. But I'm just trying to give y'all examples of, you know, how to create esoteric currency and stuff like that. So, you know, um, like I said, you gotta open up your third eye to get those downloads in order to build that currency. A lot of people that are very successful are in high positions is because they understand that. They're tapped into the esoteric realm. How you think they getting these inventions from? You think that shit just come out of nowhere? No, it's coming from somewhere. It's definitely coming from somewhere. Where you think a lot of these artists get their music from? I'm talking about the artists that are really tapped in. I'm not talking about these low-level artists. I'm talking about like your Erykah Badu's, your Andre 3000s, your Lenny Kravitz. You know what I'm saying? Your Princes, your Michael Jacksons. You know what I'm saying? Sammy Davis. You know what I'm saying? Aretha Franklin. You know what I'm saying? Whitney Houston. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Brown. Where you think they getting these songs from? The esoteric realm. And they build on to that energy. They build on to that energy, which is that currency. And it's like a big ball. It's like a snowball. It's like a snowball. And then once that snowball is dense enough, they're able to bring it down to realm one, first, second, third dimension. Yep. Esoteric currency. Honestly, in my opinion, esoteric currency is more important than the physical currency. The physical currency is important too, but the esoteric currency that's forever. You know what I'm saying? Your soul is forever. The physical isn't forever. This is just a millisecond. You know what I'm saying? The esoteric realm is forever. Once you leave your physical body, your spirit goes back to the astral plane, the esoteric realm. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure you're building on that currency. That's why a lot of times, for an example, a lot of people that do understand that build on to that esoteric currency, a lot of them, they easily get out of trouble on the physical plane. A lot of them are successful, very rich, powerful people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them are, it just seems like they're always doing well. Even when they fucking up, it just always seems like they're doing well. You know what I'm saying? Because they built that esoteric currency. And in order to build that esoteric currency, another example would be, even though a lot of us grow up in a lot of bad circumstances and situations, right, that we can't do nothing about because we're young at that time, right? We're physically young, right? We might be spiritually old, but we're physically young. So we really can't do anything too much to change our realm of reality too much. But once you hit a certain age, like 18 and up, you can really change your reality for real. Because you're pretty much an adult now, legally, right? On the physical plane, right? Within the matrix, right? So when you understand that, no matter what situation or circumstance that you're in order to build that esoteric currency, is to keep your vibration high. That's another good way to build esoteric currency, esoteric money. Keep your vibration high, no matter what you got going on. Keep your energy high. Okay. Oh, I failed this test. Okay. I'm still high vibrational though. Yeah, my GPA went down. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Oh, I caught a flat tire. Okay. My vibration's still high. I'm gonna manifest myself out this situation in order to create something better. So while that's going on, you could be envisioning and imagining something that's even more better, that's more into your favor. And I guarantee you, God, the universe, your ancestors, or whatever you believe in, it's gonna help get you out of that circumstance or situation every fucking time. I promise you, every fucking time. Hold on. My son crying. Hold on, y'all. He crying because he don't want to go to sleep, but he falling asleep. But I had a huge point I was about to make. I was in a huge train of thought. Now I gotta catch it. Yeah, yeah. Okay, you failed that test. Okay, cool. You envision and imagine yourself passing the test. Okay, your tire got flat. Okay, you envision yourself with a better tire on your car. You know what I'm saying? You manifest, you trick your mind, you trick the energies and the frequencies to manifest yourself out of the situation. It's alchemy. You know, it's a form of alchemy. You know, transmuting the energies and breaking them down into small molecules and creating it and bending it and shaping it into a way that you want it to be, to fit your universe, keeping your vibrations high. That's how you build on esoteric currency. So imagine someone, let's for an example, imagine someone that wakes up every day, their lights is off, right? They can't afford to pay their light bill, right? And every day they get up, they do what they need to do. They have a smile on their face, and it's genuine. You know, the smile is genuine. It's real. They get up, they make sure they're their best. They're their best self as much as they can be every day. At some point, they're gonna manifest themselves out of that situation because their vibration is very high to the point that they can't be dragged down. They're only gonna rise up. At some point, they're gonna manifest themselves out of that situation where their light bill is constantly paid, constantly paid. They ain't never missing paying their light bill. You know what I'm saying? You got to build on that esoteric currency. Building on your esoteric currency is how you get to that physical currency, and we're gonna get into that. But I kind of already kind of got into it just a tad bit, but with certain talking points I just made. But you know, that esoteric money is everything, y'all. Knowing where your spirit at in the astral plane is how you can pinpoint where your body go. They say where the body go, the mind. Where the mind go, the body go. But where the spirit go, the mind go, the body go. You know. So you want to make sure you keep tabs and track of your spirit man, your spirit woman. Are they on an esoteric street or house or home or a nice resort or a nice area that you can get beautiful downloads and beautiful energy, elegant energy, and high vibrational energy that you can get through your spirit in the esoteric plane and get those amazing ideas and create those amazing inventions and be able to envision it in your mind and then be able to bring it down to realm one, which is first, second, third dimension, physical plane, and be able to manifest it here for the whole world to see. You know what I'm saying? You got to know where your spirit is in the spirit world. You got to know. You got to know. And the way you get to know that is meditating. You know, meditating. Saying your mantras, your mudras, and meditating. And no matter what you got going on, not letting whatever you have going on hold you back. Not letting it dim your light or bring you spiritually down to a lower vibrational level. where you're always vibing high. You know? I mean, think about it. And the higher you vibe and the more you get these downloads and the more esoteric currency that you have, the more you'll attract on the physical plane. But, a lot of people aren't ready to expand their spirit to a broader expansion in the esoteric plane in order to do that. So if you got little things going on the physical plane, that's because your esoteric currency in the astral world is small. So you're only being able to cash out so little. So yeah, you might got this little thing going on, or this little thing going on, or that little thing going on, or that little thing going on. But the more you expand on your spirit, the more farther you go within the esoteric plane and discover new things and get more knowledge and gain, your spirit expands, which makes your esoteric currency even bigger. So it's a bigger pool of ideas, money, and resources and stuff to rain on you in the physical plane. You feel me? And that's why they say knowledge is power. Because the more knowledge you got, the more spiritual you are. That's first and foremost. So when I know we kind of off topic, but a lot of people only a lot of religious people, they only stick to that one religion, that one book. You got to study all the books. You got to read all the books. If you really want to get some type of esoteric game for real, read all the books. Don't just read the Bible. Don't just read the Quran. Don't just study the Kabbalah. Get into dib and dab and all that shit. Get some information and gain from all that shit. Read all of it. And be open enough to receive it. But when you stay fixed on one thing, how can you really expand for real? How can you? How can you have such a huge pool of esoteric currency to play with? In the spiritual plane, I'm wealthy as fuck. All I'm doing now is physically catching up. You feel me? Let me repeat that. In the esoteric plane, I'm wealthy as fuck. On the physical plane, all I'm doing is catching up. Which means I constantly have to grow physically on my physical plane for my body to catch up to where my spirit is in the astral plane. Which means I have to become who I am in the astral plane. I gotta be a better version of myself. To get those esoteric currencies and those downloads, to be the best version of myself. Whether that's, learning new information, coming up with different ideas to make my life better or make things better, more sufficient. Esoteric currency. We all have it. Some people have more than others. But we all have it. So, like I said, it's more than just, getting money physically. You gotta have that shit up here first. All your money up here first. Cause let me give y'all an example. What if you lost everything, right? A terror moment happened, right? Terror moment happened, you lose everything. But because of your conscious, it's up here, and your spirit in the astral plane is all the way up there. You'll get everything you lost, you'll get back so quick. It might take you a week if you that cold. It might take you 2 weeks. It might take you a month, but that's still great. You know what I'm saying? That's why some people lose shit and then they bounce back even stronger. That's because of that esoteric currency. Yeah, I lost it all, but I learned my lessons. What karmic lessons I needed to learn, what spiritual lessons I needed to learn, what is these downloads I need to get from my ancestors, or what is these downloads I need to get from God? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever I believe in. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, let me get that and let me really internalize that. Let me be open enough to receive that so I can be a better version of myself, so I can manifest myself out of this situation. Let me let that money and that knowledge rain on me so I can boost myself back up, get myself back up, pick myself back up, be in a even greater position than I was when I lost what I lost. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know somebody got a lot of esoteric currency. Some people lose shit and that's it. Game over. That's because their spirits are not broad enough, or their minds or their consciousness, or their mind and their consciousness might literally be so fixed on the shit that they lost. When even the Bible say love nothing of the world. So if anybody love anything of the world, they have no love of the Father. Even the Bible says that. So it's like, and that goes for any form of spirituality. It don't matter what it is. You're not supposed to be attached to any of this shit for real. Everything has an expiration date. So if you're harboring on this particular item or this particular thing that you lost, how can you gain it back? Or how can you gain it back tenfold? How can you gain something even colder than that item, colder than that particular circumstance or situation, or that house or wherever you reside at, or whatever it might be? You know what I'm saying? How can you expand on that even higher if your mind, your consciousness is stuck on that? Because remember, where the mind go, the body goes. So if you're stuck on that, you're giving that negative shit energy. So you're just building up negative currency. You can build up negative currency too, which would be AKA bad karma, right? But it's all a mind game. It's all a fucking mind game. So if you like, okay, damn, this happened. Okay, cool. Moving on. What's next? I gotta go. Yeah, I lost that, but I'm gonna bounce back. Let me sit and meditate, talk to God, everything I need to do to get whatever information I need to learn through this particular lesson and this particular loss that I took, so I can gain it back even better. Your spirit on a whole nother plane, in a whole nother conscious level. And you're just like, damn, you getting new downloads, new ideas. You're like, damn, I ain't never thought about shit like this. Damn. But this shit makes so much sense. And then by the time you know you in that energy, you're in that frequency vibration. So as you just moving throughout your life, every day, every week, every month, you building on that, you building on that, you building on that currency, you building on that. It's like a big ass snowball of money, of esoteric money, right? Snowball, 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 and it's just getting bigger and bigger, and then it just rains, it just blows up on the physical plane. Next thing you know, you're like, damn, I got a better house. I got a better house than the house I just lost. I got a better apartment than I just lost. I got a better car than I just lost. I got a better this, I got a better that. Anything that walk out your life wasn't meant to be there anyway. But you got to learn your lessons too, in order to really, really enjoy this shit, Because you want to keep your spirit protected, but you want to enjoy life too. You know what I'm saying? And you want to keep a high vibration while you enjoying it. You want to genuinely enjoy your shit. A lot of people got nice shit, but they not genuinely enjoying it because they no telling what they did to get to it. That's why I say you build that esoteric currency. You build that off of peace, peaceful energy. You build that off of love frequency. You build that off of elegance, excellence, security. Being secure within yourself, your inner self, your inner man, your inner woman. You build on that. That currency is something somebody can't take from you. Nobody can take that from you. What the fuck? You hear my neighbors talking about today the last day, the deadline. Well, guess what, y'all? Today the last day. It's the deadline. Build that esoteric currency. Create ideas, expand your mind, expand your frequencies, vibrations. Know where you are in the astral plane, in the esoteric plane, you dig. And find where your spirit is in the esoteric plane. Envision yourself. Envision yourself with that car that you want. Envision yourself with that house that you want. Envision yourself with that partner that you want, or that family that you want, that family setting you want, that love you want. But remember, you got to give all that shit to yourself first. That's how you truly attract it. You got to give it to yourself first. Then, while you're building on that currency, you're building on it every day, every day, every day. You're moving in that energy every day. So no matter what goes on throughout your day, you're constantly on that vibration. And as you slowly do that, the things that were supposed to happen don't even happen. So you damn near time jumping. Because you're in a whole nother quantum leap. You know, you quantum leaped. Man, this shit, man. Because what was supposed to happen that day didn't happen because you're vibrating higher. So it done that shit missed you. That negative shit missed you. You vibrating so high, and then you just, next thing you know, you're like, damn, this is what I wanted. Now I got it. Damn, this is what I wanted. Now I got it. This is what I wanted. Now I got it. This is what I wanted. Now I got it. Damn. Esoteric currency. It's your boy Dom Plutonian. I'm out. Peace. Love y'all.